Hey there, convoy crazies, jerry can junkies, and mutt maniacs. Johnny here, coming at you from a mostly sunny central Pennsylvania. And I want to let you folks out there know what we've been up to this summer. And that is getting ready for the Yellowstone Trail Mvpa convoy. So I'm going to explain that real quick and go over this laundry list of things that is growing much shorter of things that I need to do in the next 10 days before we leave. So what is an Mvpa convoy? Well, the Mvpa, the Military Vehicle Preservation Association, which this isn't sponsored or approved or anything by the way, just so you know, every couple of years they have a convoy, which is a group of military vehicle enthusiasts that take their vehicles across the country somewhere. So there are a few different routes. There's the Lincoln Highway, there's the Bankhead Highway, Route 66, the Alcan Highway, which is the Alaska-Canada highway, built for World War II. And this year's convoy is a new one. It's the Yellowstone Trail Highway, which was the first official transcontinental highway in the country. In 1912, I guess. It predated the Lincoln Highway by a year. But really, they were all the Good Roads movement was building roads all over this country at that time, trying to get people from here to there. So, those of you who are new might not know that I took this homemade Jeep replica from Pennsylvania to California and back. I took a video every day, put it on my YouTube. And I would like to do the same thing this year for the Yellowstone Trail, but I had a lot of work to do to get this thing ready. A lot of work. I tore this thing half apart, not completely apart, but half apart, to fix some things that I saw, fix some weak links. And well, we'll just go over it real quick, and then we'll talk about what's going to be happening here in the next 10 days or so. All right, so real quick, if you want to know what a convoy is like, there is a couple of things you can do. You can go on the mvpa.org website. They have a convoys tab. You can look a little rudimentary information there. You could watch my videos on the Lincoln Highway convoy. Each video is an entire day. So from the time I wake up, I'm farting in bed, making my coffee, till the time we park the vehicles at the end of the day. Each episode is one of those. Just look it up if you're really interested. So those of you who do know, and those of you who don't, I got rear-ended in Coraopolis, Pennsylvania, right on the Pennsylvania-Ohio border. And it's bent up this 4-inch W channel. Messed up my bumper gussets and stuff like that. I designed the bumper gussets to crumple, and they crumpled, but it bent the other opposite end of this channel. First thing on my list was to straighten the bumper. And I was hauling a trailer at the time, and it took my pintle hook. This whole rear cross member is another piece of that 4-inch W channel with some, no, it doesn't have any webs in it. It's just straight channel. It folded that down, folded it under, twisted this whole channel. So to get at this, all of my skin on this vehicle comes off. It's kind of like a little life hack. I don't have to take the whole body off to get it to frame. I can just take this skin off. So all the skin had to come off to get that off of there to fix that. Those were the two biggest things on my list, was to fix the damage from the Lincoln Highway convoy. Had some electrical problems. All my electrical systems are under this cowl here. My computer, all the engine wiring harness, the whole job's under here. So this cowl had to come off, and I had to do pretty extensive wiring to fix my electrical problems. I put LED bulbs in my headlight buckets. These are 5 3/4 Harley buckets. I think the bulb number is like 9003, something like that. It's a high-low beam. Now, I'm not made of money. They were like $70 for the pair. I just got them and did it and bit the bullet there. But I will say that if they last a long, I hope they last a long time, knock on wood. And the other half of that is they are extremely bright. Holy cow. It's hard to really explain how bright they are. Much, much brighter than a halogen. Put a new steering universal in it. Sanded and varnished my tools, my hood blocks. I had to fix my trailer canvas. My trailer, my M100, we'll go look at it in a minute. Actually, let's just go do it now. Okay, so this is my M100 quarter-ton Jeep trailer. Unrestored original. And this is the enclosure I made for it. It's just some 2x4s and 1x bolted together, sitting on an aluminum frame that, well, you Jeep experts out there know that the civilian quarter-ton trailers have stake bed pockets in them, 3 on each side. I wanted that, but I didn't want to modify this original in any way. You know what I mean? So I welded up this aluminum angle iron, not really angle iron, aluminum angle iron, we're just going to call it that, frame that sits on top of the trailer, and it has stake bed pockets in it. And then the sides just sit in that. The whole thing gets lashed down like it is, and we're good. I steam bent those, made the whole job. Lesson learned on the Lincoln Highway. Coming back, the suicide mission. 55 mile an hour all day for like 14 hours a day. Get out of here. You can't run canvas 55 mile an hour all day and not expect stuff to happen. So, what did happen? Well, all these seams inside, these internal seams, they started to fray, even though I put fray check on them and stuff. I didn't hem the inner seams. You see what I mean? Like the outer seams, they're all hemmed, they're all professional looking, they all look good. The inner seams were just raw. They started fraying stuff. So that's what I mean about fixing the trailer top. So I trimmed all of it and reseamed every single internal seam. And I won't ever run this. My canvas speed's 45 mile an hour now. So I sewed this up. I sewed the summer top for the Jeep, and I don't want to ruin all that work. So 45 mile an hour when it's raining at the max. No 55 mile an hour stuff. I had to fix up my body paint. Now I didn't have any more paint that color, so I had to mix new paint. And it's kind of funny because when you make your own paint, every batch is just a little bit different shade. I like this shade, but I'd still have to paint all my stars and stuff on there. Now what I mean by that is, originally all I wanted to do was touch up the body paint where it got scratched from putting the roof up and down and doing everything you do on a Convoy. I didn't have this color, the color that's under this. All the paint's homemade except for the flat white that I used for the stars and stuff. They didn't have any more of that shade, so I tried my best to match it. And I started touching up these little poopers here. I had scratches all over it. And it didn't look right. It looked like a rag job, so I just decided to paint the whole vehicle again. It's kind of a son of a bee, but here we are. I mean, I painted the whole vehicle. All I have to do, it's not a real thick coat, as you can see, my original registration number and stuff and the stars, you can still see through that paint. It's just a little top coat. But anyways, that's what I mean by that. Checking all the fluids, the differential fluids. I put heat matting under the passenger floor because the exhaust runs right under the co-pilot's position there. And it was, my honey's poor feet were getting too hot, so I had to do something about that, and I did. Some rubber under the radiator. Covers. Oh yes, oiled the body mount bolts. I had to go over the trailer, change tires and stuff like that. A lot of little stuff. Grease job. Rotate the tires, fix the horn button. My horn button was screwed up. I had a transmission fluid leak, turned out to be a cooler line. Stuff like that, maintenance stuff. The final big thing that I ran into was that for the Lincoln Highway Convoy, I had a set of combat rims on this vehicle. As you can see, they're not combat rims anymore. Had combat rims on it, brand new set of non-directionals. They got me across the country and back, but they're about shot now. When we left here, they looked like this. Now they got about 20% tread, maybe a little less. I could use them for parades and stuff like that, but I can't run across the country again, so. First thing I was gonna do was I was going to put non-directionals back on the vehicle, on the combat rims. I had a really hard time finding any non-directionals because on account of COVID, I guess all these specialty tire places got shut down. Nobody had non-directionals, and I wasn't going to be able to get a set until late July at the earliest. Like if I was first person in line to get tires from my local place, I could get them from Kaiser Willys or something like that, but I would have paid a lot more for them. So I thought about it a little while, and I said, well, wait a minute, why don't I just get some Geo Metro or Chevy Tracker rims, something that's 5 on 5.5. You know, you see those stupid things on Marketplace all the time, but whenever you actually need a set of nice steel 5 on 5.5 rims from a tracker, guess how hard it is to find them. Well, I had to go to Youngstown, Ohio, the 3-hour drive, one way, to get these rims, but I was lucky because they had brand new tires on them. I paid $200 for rims and tires, and they had brand new tires on them. So I feel not only were they half the price of non-directional tires themselves, but they're going to last me about 4 or 5 times as long. So yeah, the combat rims look cool, but $400 each Convoy for tires, it's non-sustainable for me. I can't afford that kind of fun. So civilian tires and rims it is. Fudge it. So if you guys were wondering what was going on, whether I'm doing a Convoy this year or not, the answer to that is yes. We're going, well, if the creek don't rise and the chain don't break, we're gonna go. I don't want to say they gave me a promotion, but they gave me, they offered me the position of Jeep unit leader, so I'll be 5'1", and that's going to be pretty hectic. So I'm going to try to do my normal Convoy videos, but don't expect too much, okay? But we're going to try. So the next video you see is going to probably be Renee and I leaving Pennsylvania for South Dakota. All right, we'll get into the actual route of the Convoy when we get out there to Aberdeen. The Ipswich to Aberdeen section of the Yellowstone Trail, I guess, is the first actual official section. So that's the first thing we're going to do when we get out there is run that. All right, so here we go. We're going to do what we can and try to make it across the country in one piece. All right, thanks for watching. Sorry if this video was a little boring. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up and let you know what's going on. All right? Peace.